You are on zero and there are two goats in the compound. You were on zero shillings, you were on zero Danish kroner, and you were made to sleep or die, and there was a situation of I'm going to the mountain, meaning that English woman's children ended up going to the mountain and there were bulls, meaning you had to be on zero Danish kroner and zero Ugandan shillings so that they successfully benefited of you dying and coming back again. You were on zero and now October 2021, there are two goats in the compound. You were on zero in Denmark and you kept dying and coming back because there are so many prayer requests. You kept dying and coming back because there were so many prayer requests. You were a young child on zero Ugandan shillings with no bank account and you were asleep for 2 decades, meaning that your journey would end in Denmark and at the age of 27 you would keep dying and coming back. Well, as for your rendered mother, Susan Akia Ainomut, alumni, she died. There were maybe 3 of them. They were embalmed painfully with cotton in their nostrils and mouth, and they were put in a coffin that they were able to disappear or poof out of. At the age of 27 as well, you found that you had similar precedents with a woman that might or might not be your mother situation, meaning who is your father became a game, and they would want to confuse you with the presidents of Africa, but you're able to recall that there were ties of African presidents in the rental you were living in Makerere, or next to Ambassadors of Hope Close, Makerere Chikoni, and the vast hostels that do not actually have university students, but male and female situations that severely affect a human being, like Emma Uphill, formerly called Emma Komagum alumni, formerly called Emmanuel Komakech, formerly called Emmanuel alumni, born Emmanuel alumni, and you're not even sure if you were produced to this world because there's so many different memories. And anyway, keeping in mind that this is about two gods, this is about zero nada zilch, the true religion. Zero nada zilch is the true religion, in a sense of they make sure that you are at zero and you've had no rest from 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and now it's 2021. It means I am able to say I walked up to the hill or to the hills of Mackinjay to seek Chris Dolan, Chris Davis, because once again I was on zero Ugandan shillings, and even if some factions would want to say we kept his money, that we kept his money from when he was a child. Some of us stole his 200 shillings, some of us stole his 500 shillings, and that's how we protect him. The females that carry babies, just like in Atlantis the animation, are the females that are married to the males that are brown skin. The males, zero nada zilch, meaning zero Ugandan shillings or zero Danish krona or zero US dollars, is the true religion of the people that severely affect a child like an Emma Uphill. A child that at some age had a line demarcating his body, meaning that he was brown skinned, he had a line demarcating his body. And even if these women that would come in, let's say as a Susan Akia or the females that carry a baby on their waist or on their upper hip, normally on the right, are the same females shown in Atlantis the animation. And even if they kept the 200 shillings coin after Emma came back from Chris Doll and Chris Davis's place, how about Rosalind Anyeko, who might be a Musoga woman, that openly told Emma as a young kid, sorry I stole your 50 shillings Uganda note. Actually, it's a 50 shillings Ugandan shillings, and it was a very beautiful note before the Bank of Uganda said we are annulling the 50 shillings note and we are going to be making coins. So how do people make coins? I have no idea. What do they use to make coins? I have no idea. What I do know is I've been at zero, let's say a lot in my life, but I was asleep. And just like I said, I had a black line demarcating my body from my, let's say, from my private part area all the way to my navel, all the way to my forehead, meaning that as I was in the Bukoto house by Bukoto Chisasi Road, or a slope down from Bukoto Chisasi Road, so many supernatural things happen. And as you grow older, people try to make sure that they check you. And you know what's interesting? As you get awakened, you find that they check you even as invisibles, meaning they need to see that you're still asleep. So awakened, I am complaining and I'm walking up a hill. The hill is so steep. I think that back in the day when somebody stood on the other end of, let's say, Entebbe Airport Road, they were able to see the amazing hill of Mackinjay, and at the top of the amazing hill of Mackinjay is where Chris Doll and Chris Davis has a home, and is where the boys from Chambogo University and Upper Estate, Chambogo Banda, Chereka Banda, have now decided to settle. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that, you know what? They have worked hard. It's been 3 decades, age 30 now, and you know, they've been able to gain fruits from, whatever it is they've been involved in. Times have been dark and all that. Times have been dark for me. Very high fevers, high body temperature, and even right now as I'm recording, it's 12:21 a.m. Kampala, Uganda, East African time. There is trucks along a road, and I'm living next to a road, meaning somebody didn't care so much into the fact that this child is going to be making podcasts. This child is going to be recording himself, but at the same time, there is a church just opposite this wall fence. I'm standing on the wall fence. I'm grateful. I'm just highlighting the other bad sides to whatever I'm going through or growing through. There's a church, and there's soil thrown at at the front of the church, and just across the church is an AK guest house or a lodge, meaning I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm grateful I have shelter, and I'm standing outside in the cold, and I'm grateful I can take a shower. But when you are at zero, somebody's able to feel something. Now, at the end of the day, you find that Atlantis the animation shows these women as several. They are so many, and they're carrying babies on their waists, meaning that who are the fathers of these babies? And actually in real life it's happening here. You see the women, they're carrying babies. Who are the fathers of these babies? And at the same time, who are these women? And at the same time, who are the real mothers of the babies they are carrying? Meaning that at the end of the day, Atlantis shows somebody like me being a chosen child. Hello, Chosen the series, or Chosen One the series, and Fiske Trovet Mall, Copenhagen. Meaning in this day and era, meaning in this day and era, people are still making Jesus movies. And luckily, I was able to look at Facebook. Now, some factions would easily just slap away a phone and say it won't own a phone. Well, that was the 1990s, and it's now 2021. Thank goodness. I was able to get a phone. And how did I fail at getting a phone? I failed at getting a phone because I was reduced financially. And before I go any further, I just have to stress that in between my recordings, I'm happy that the Techno Pop 2 Plus recorder has a pause button, meaning I pause a bit. I'm getting better at doing podcasts, but wait a minute. I was supposed to be making podcasts by 2019 anyway. Somebody could edge out and say that would be like 100 or 1,000 podcasts. Yes. If somebody's rendered to being everything about the world and 2.5 USA presidencies, it means that if they have 1,000 podcasts, it makes a lot of sense. So I could say, luckily, it's 3 months to an end of my purgatory Uganda, meaning as soon as it's February 18th, keeping in mind I walked from Kigali to Kabale Katuna, meaning from Kigali to the Ugandan border. And I did that keeping in mind that Ugandan matters are said to walk from Tanzania to Kenya and from Tanzania and Kenya to Namugongo, the Uganda Matter Shrine, and some of them even walk from Rwanda and Congo to Namugongo, the Uganda Matter Shrine. I say yes, I think it's humanly possible. I walked. So at the end of the day, it's more like I have gone through a lot of being zeroed that I actually walked. And when a taxi gave me a lift from, let's say, some part of Rwanda to the mountains of the moon of Rwanda, and those were the hill ranges, I didn't have money on me. That was another claim made. So at the end of the day, I died so many times in Denmark, and I awakened, kind of like in the movies, kind of like in Beyonce's Sweet Dreams music video. I didn't levitate. Let's say I didn't see my spirit go out of my body, and I don't want that to happen. If you're dark and grim and you're listening, I hope you're taking a note. I don't need that to happen. When I was in psychiatry, I kept saying everything is financial, everything is about the money. I'll come back to Africa and find that they are building roads, they have their border wrangles, they are building hotels, they are building a hospital or hospitals, they are speeding with rally cars. Yeah, they are speeding with rally cars. I just paused that button. It's Munyonyo Commonwealth Resort Road, and at the end of the day, it's as well Busabala Road. There've been plenty of walkers. I could say English woman and Englishman, English Australian woman, English Russian woman, English Canadian woman, English American woman, English South American woman, English African woman, English Asian woman, English Middle Eastern woman. You have so many people and so many situations. These roads have been filled with walkers. At the same time, Bruno Vian and the Bruno Vian Mills, Sabena Airbus, Entebbe Airport, British Airways Airbus Entebbe Airport, and Y'all Made Me the Entebbe Airport child. You have so many walkers, and then you have so many Night Kings. Hello, Game of Thrones, the TV series, and Game of Thrones as well is kind of correlated to the Katatumba family and me, and then to Alice Jenakelo, Alice Okuni, and me. So, end of the day, I'm just stating the fact that you know what? At zero, things can happen. At zero, things are sealed. And when I walked up to the hill of Makinje Chizungu, I walked up because I was at zero, and there are two goats in the compound. The section looks like a snake section in a zoo or Entebbe Zoo you work. And I was not going to be, like just seated back. Then I find that actually they are waiting for me by the hill with more offers of truth, meaning they knew what was happening and as well they were invisibles watching me. Then they slap on an event of wild health and wild mental health situation, and I'm over here like I don't know.